Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm hopefully going to be able to show you guys how to fix your 2019 through 2020 through however long they make these snowflake spinners, the new models. So the light stopped working on mine. I didn't really know what I was doing, what I really expected, so I just cracked them open. So what I did first was I cut open the end of the hand where the snowflakes come out. Cut a big hole here in the front of the hand like this, and then you have to cut. I did this, I cut up his back, and then this little piece here, this part was tucked up and under the scarf. I'll end up sewing this back, it goes right here. Then you have a screw there to take out. There's a screw, the other two screws are on this. You have two screws there, and a screw in there. I think the screws the screw's still in there. Take those out. In order to get these wires out, you have to remove this hot glue that was in the way, as well as hot glue over here for the button with holding the two panels down. There's 4 screws here and here. You need to remove those. Then when you get in here, you kind of see how everything's made. I thought I cannot move with this chair. Okay. I thought the dancing mat would look different, but really it doesn't. Just a belt there and then a wheel that moves up and down right here. Actually, it's down here. It connects to this and just goes up and down. So basically the problem that happens with these is, as you can see right here, there should be a lot of wires soldered onto those 2 spots right there, and there's nothing. And if you notice, we have a yellow and a red wire. And if you look at mine right here, you can see a little bit of yellow on the left side, and an open solder joint right here. So basically, I'm just gonna have to resolder those wires there. You have these 2 holes right here. These 2, I don't know why they even put that one there. Basically, the spinning arm thing just fits up in there like that. And the reason these break is because obviously there's a little bit of flex in here, side to side, and it just over time it gets loose. I've heard many people say that these are impossible to repair. I really don't think so. I had one person tell me you can't fix them because the wire just wounds up. That is not true, as you can clearly see what's happening here. The way the light wires are working, you have a negative ground going, I believe it's heading up through, what it looks like is it's heading up through this and actually grounding off on the, I don't know where the negative terminal is, honestly. I don't know how that's really working, but I know the way that this is working is you have this coiled up wire right here, kind of like a spring going up through here. While this motor spins in a complete circle, this spring acts, as you can see, allows this top piece to spin while also holding a connection, as it just simply lies or just rubs on the 2 pieces there. So you kind of shift side to side there. Actually, I can tell what it is. They have a copper plate up here rubbing on another copper plate, and all this spring does is hold it up. It's acting as a wire, keeping the connection going and holding this up to give it a actual, to let it be able to spin around in a circle like this and keep working. So pretty cool. We'll have to see. I'm gonna try to solder those back on. We'll have to see what ends up happening. You can tell that it didn't really go good for this one because look how twisted up those wires are. Ugh, I'm gonna untwist those. I don't know how that happened like that. Oh, wait. I'm gonna commit a funny. Let it snow, let it snow, let it it doesn't show signs of stopping. Basically, yeah, I have my own spinning arm mechanism now. Lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get this thing working again. I'm probably going to put some grease in here. And here. This thing is just riding on nothing, like in this pocket and this pocket, to give it a little bit of something to actually ride on, because I don't know if you can tell, but it actually spins and it lies on that, and there ain't nothing there to hold it. You can see this piece just turns. Didn't actually realize that. Huh. I don't know. I'll have to look into this more. I figured out why this stopped working. This is really messed up when I think about how this had to work for the longest time. I don't know if you guys remember, but I made a video, I think, noticing that this thing was pulling out like this. I'm gonna have to glue this. This cannot do this, and I'll show you why. This all needs to be one solid piece, because I don't know if you can tell. If I hold this end can spin freely, and I can do like this. That is not good, and I'll show you why. Because look what it's doing to the wires on the inside. See that? That is bad, because what happened is, whenever, there was actually, I think there's little clips in here, like 2 little pins. I remember moving this around, and I heard a loud snap, and this thing popped forwards. And I think I snapped those little pegs in there, that I think it should have little pegs in there holding this to keep it from turning. So what ended up happening is, the only reason this thing was spinning is not because of this. I mean, this was helping it, but because of these wires. The entire mechanism was spinning only because of these wires, and right before I took it apart, it stopped spinning as well. So what happened was, these wires completely snapped off, because you look at how this is wired up. These wires were holding it on and were the only things allowing this to spin, because that's why these wires are so twisted up. Because when that motor was spinning, the wires were just twisting up inside, doing like this to keep it going. And once those wires ripped off, it was just spinning, like on the inside. I just heard, This wasn't actually moving around. So that's why, if you get one of these and they start like doing this, if you can pull them back and forth, you need to, if you have one right now and you can do it like this, you need to take it apart and you need to glue this, because it's going to actually destroy itself if you don't. I just find that a very bad design. I really do. So that's what happened to mine. As you can see, that's bad. That's why that happened. So I'm going to untwist these. I'm going to resolder them. I'm going to glue this back in place. And hopefully we'll have a good end result to this. And yes, these are hopefully will be repairable. It should have spun like this, though. It's not really working out that well. Yeah, there we go. Like that. That's how it should have spun. But yeah, I'll see if I can get that to work. Okay, guys, so I got my wires soldered back up on here. As you can see there, they're all nice and soldered back up on there again. I untwist my wire. I'm gonna glue this back together like it's supposed to be. Put the arm back together, test it, and we're going to see if it's going to work. Hopefully it does, because that's really the only thing I know that could have broke on it. So we'll have to see what happens. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to explain to you how to fix your snowflake spinning snowman, the new ones. So the basic signs, I'm going to be showing you how to fix the spinning arm. Now the basic signs, there will be a problem. Either they won't light up, they won't spin, or there's another thing that I need to show you, and there's one very important thing that I need you, if you own one of these snowflake spinners, you need to do something very, very fast. If you own one of these, come up here, and I like to call this the noodle, pull back and forth on the noodle. If the noodle feels tight and it doesn't really pull in or out and it's kind of locked into place, that's good. But if you can take yours and you can pull it way out and you can push it way back in, that's a big problem. So I don't know if you guys remember this one, but I always talked about how, like, the wire got sucked up inside of this one. It's like the wire used to be long. I can show you that now, actually, that it's apart. The wire used to have length on it, and then over time, it's like the wire got sucked in. And you know why? Because it actually did. I don't know if you guys remember, but this one's little noodle piece was always very loose. I could pull it in and out. And that was a really, really bad problem, and I'll show you why. So let me go into some explanation within how these work, so you'll have a better, understanding of how to fix them as well. So the way these work is you have this little spring connected to a wire here. It comes down, and the way this works is this spring pushes up against this little, I don't know if you can see that, but there's two pieces of copper here. You have this one on the inside here, and then it rubs up against another copper piece here. These actually act as basically the power connections to power the lights. I'll show you what the front of it looks like here. You can see where the wires connect, and then obviously, here, 1 second. These two little pegs here, you can see this little peg slide into the board there and hold everything in place all nice and stuff. That wire looks kind of messed up, and I'll tell you why. So what was happening with this guy? Okay. What actually happens to these? Why? Why do I keep doing this to myself? So the reason this wasn't working is because right here, these are two separate pieces. What happens is when you pull this part in and out, this piece can spin freely from this piece. These two pieces need to be together. You need to be able to spin this whole thing, and these parts need to stay together tight. Problem happens is when these things get loose, or they actually, something in these break, and this part spins freely from this part, what's end up happening is the back part spins, but the front part doesn't. So when this piece starts violently spinning around, it just instantly starts twisting up these wires, and the only thing that gets this end to start spinning is the wires being twisted up in here. That's explaining why that one's kind of frayed. That's very bad, because that's why the wires started disappearing in mine, because it just kept getting more and more twisted up, because the wire was the only thing being able to force these lights around. And after a while, the lights actually ended up breaking off right here. I had to resolder them back on. They just broke off right there. And so all I did was resolder this and glue this. And that's why this was all getting all sucked in and stuff. And like I said, if you can take yours and pull it in and out, you actually should. If you don't know how to solder and stuff, you need to take yours apart ASAP and glue this. Otherwise, the lights are going to stop lighting up, and it's not going to be savable if you can't solder. But I like this design here. It actually is kind of smart. But I will show you how to take yours apart here very quickly. So the first thing you want to do is cut open the end of the hand so you can pull the snowflakes through. Then what I did is I cut up the back of his neck. You can see here, I cut up his back, just cut a line. And then I pulled the head down over this part. And then right here, you can tell I had to cut the shirt across here like this, over to the sleeve, like this. This part was right up here, and then this part went up here, like you can tell where I cut it. I cut that so I could pull this down. There are, I'll show you the inside of the arm here. When this is together, you have 2 screws, and this is the part of the hand that comes out with the snowflakes on the end. First thing you need to do is take out these 2 screws here. Then, actually, hold on 1 second. I'll actually show you here real fast. I'll stick the arm through. So, when you get it, the arm will be in like this. So what happens is you want to take these 2 screws at the tip of the hand. You want to take those out. Then you want to remove this screw that is in the back of this. Then you need, you have to take 4 screws out of this back plate here. Pull the back plate off. Then you see you'll have a little bit of hot glue holding these wires in place. Get the hot glue off, and then you can pull this arm out. Once you pull this arm out, there'll be a screw up in there that you take out, revealing this stuff, all of this. and it just quite simply sets all back into place. It's not really that hard to work on. All you need to do if yours doesn't light up is it should have just a broken wire right here. Just quite literally solder those wires back together, glue this part back where it needs to go so that this part can't freely spin, and that should fix your problem. Now, if you have one that's lights up and doesn't spin, probably a wire off or a dead motor. I'm not too sure about that. It's my guess is just be a wire dead motor. But yeah, that's kind of it. I soldered my wires back on, and I guess I'm gonna put this back together and test it. Everything, just like I said, quite easily sets into place here, as you can see. This part right here, this part will set right here. I'm gonna put some grease in this. Same with this side, it just clips together. And I will see you guys when I get at least this arm put back together, just this part, and then we'll test it and we'll see what happens. Okay, and here's another thing. When putting this arm back together, you'll pick up one piece and you'll see that it's got a flat spot in it where the other one doesn't really have anything. Take this side and you'll notice that right here on the back cap of your motor, you have a flat spot right there. That perfectly fits in this one, and then these two grooves are here for your wires to go through. And make sure that you lock this into this, just into those two holes right there. And obviously you can't put it into this side because the capacitor is in the way on this one. So make sure you slide it into the two slots and just set everything in there, and then we'll just put it back together and we'll see what happens. Just like this, how everything sets into place. You can see that this part can freely roll back and forth like this, moving everything just like that. So the pins stay together in there. See that flared wire, although still connected somehow. And we'll have to put this together and we'll have to see what happens. And I will put grease in here, and as you can see, it's just plastic against plastic. It causes a lot of friction. It's not very good, so I'll put some grease in between this part and down here, and then I guess we'll give her a good old test and we'll see what happens. You can see I put some grease in here. It kind of feels like it's just causing more friction, but I think it should help, hopefully. Okay, so I couldn't get this back together because of this wire, and I actually figured out that it fits down into the slot over here, and you can tell that by that little slot right there. If I push this over to this side, let's see. Oh, yep, that appears to be how it wants to go in there. Yeah, it just sits down into that like that, and then it should close now. Let's see. Oh, it's going together. Jimmy's wire is feels so much cheaper now. Give it a good couple spins. Get it going. I'm going to slap a couple screws in this, and as you can see, it's all nicely back together. The wires are everywhere. It does indeed move back and forth. As you can see, that grease is kind of weird actually, but I don't know, we'll put it together and see what happens. Okay, so it is indeed working. It needs new batteries. The batteries are dying. And it does flicker a bit. I might extend that spring out a little bit because I was prying on it a little bit to show you guys what it did. But I think the spring needs pushed out a little bit because it does flicker a tad. But overall,
have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Does work.
I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer.
Works pretty good.
Holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear,
And it's clearing up.
oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Oh, by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
So overall, this is a pretty reliable mechanism, just besides that one little thing there that breaks. But yeah, I guess that's how you fix your snowflake spinner. Yeah, that worked out really well. So thank you guys for watching. That's pretty epic. I will include a clip probably of it fixed, so yeah. Okay, so I got them back together. I did glue the hand, but I just now realized now's the best time to take the skin off and clean it while it's all like blown apart on the back. You can see where I cut that now. But it works great. It really does. It flickers ever so slightly now. It's better than not lighting up at all. I should have went in there and opened up that spring. I might do that when I take the skin off, but it works good enough for me. And this one is always spin really slow. And this grease helped it out a lot. It keeps it from spinning so fast, so it doesn't actually like do this thing where it like wobbles and runs around. So yeah. Also, these are fresh batteries, or not completely fresh, but newer batteries. The old ones, they would only go up to here. I have to tap them because they're dead.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year.
So yeah, that worked out really well. It really did. I feel like that grease is helping out a lot. It just keeps some of the resistance down. Well, it actually created some resistance, which keeps it from spinning so fast. But I think that'll help save the plastic a little bit too. Other than that, yeah, that is how you fix your 2019 through however long they make these spinner. I'll show my other one. I only have 2 of the new ones. I know they're making a lot more, but they're all selling them in stores that are not near me. The only things I have near me are like Walmart, CVS, Lowe's, stuff like that. That's the only places I get them. I can't get them in like At Home and stuff like that. And obviously not Canada, but this one's is not loose, so it shouldn't break. See, I can't pull this in and out. It's locked into place. This one's really quiet. Like the speaker's blowing out. Like, listen to this one.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time.
It's so quiet. Wait. That's fine. I think it's just a quiet one. Which, that's fine with me. I don't like loud items. They're just kind of annoying. Well, they're like, you know, I don't know. Loud items are... I don't like loud items. I like quiet ones. That way they're not, like, bothersomely loud. Anyway, yeah, that's how you fix these guys. I officially know how to fix these ones, and obviously those kinds, because I have so many freaking of them. But, yeah. Ta-da. I guess, I don't know.